Everything on your phone got worse on purpose. There's a memo. That's not my opinion. It's in a federal antitrust complaint. Amazon has an internal word for the junk ads that bury what you searched for. They call them defects. And in the FTC's unredacted filing, Jeff Bezos tells his executives to accept more of them. More defects. Worse on purpose, for ad money. In 2017, the share of Amazon desktop searches carrying ads doubled. On mobile, it more than quintupled. Here's what that costs you at the till. Click the first result in an Amazon search, and on average, you pay a 29% premium over the best price on the same site. 29% for trusting the top of the page. Tonight, 4 companies take the stand, and every witness is a document somebody wrote and never expected you to read. 3 stages, 1 playbook, and a name you're about to learn. By the end, a verdict, and 1 number that tells you how much of your money the middleman now takes. And stay to the finish, because somebody has already forced one of them to stop. November 2022. A science fiction writer called Cory Doctorow puts up a blog post and coins a word so rude I have to be careful saying it. Enshittification. 2 months later, he writes the sentence that turned a swear word into a diagnosis. Quote, "Here is how platforms die. First, they are good to their users. Then they abuse their users to make things better for their business customers. Finally, they abuse those business customers to claw back all the value for themselves. Then they die." End quote. 3 stages. Stage 1, they're genuinely good to you until your life is inside them. Stage 2, they make it worse for you to make it better for the advertisers and the sellers who pay. Stage 3, they turn on those payers too and keep the lot. It isn't decay, it's a sequence. Around 300 linguists made it the American Dialect Society's Word of the Year in January 2024, Ben Zimmer chairing the vote. Australia's Macquarie Dictionary crowned it too. The book landed in October 2025 and took a Locus Award in June. A framework's only worth something if it predicts. So let's test it against 4 companies using their own paperwork. Witness 1, Amazon. Stage 1 went exactly as advertised. Cheap, fast, everything in one place. You stopped comparing prices because Amazon had already done that for you. Stage 2 is the search page. Doctorow counted the first 5 screens of a search for a cat bed. Half of it was advertising. And the FTC says Amazon's executives acknowledged internally that this hurt the customer experience. They grew it anyway. The ad business was worth more than your patience. Stage 3 is what happened to the sellers. In 2014, Amazon took about 19 cents of every dollar an independent seller made there. By 2020, 35. By the first half of 2023, 45 cents. Nearly half. Actually, scratch that because calling it a fee lets it off. Sellers don't absorb it. They price it in, everywhere they sell. You've been paying Amazon's rent in shops that aren't Amazon. Then there's the one with a code name, Project Nessie. From 2015 to 2019, Amazon ran a secret pricing algorithm that raised an item's price whenever it predicted rivals would follow the increase, then held it high once they did. Not a discount engine, a price-raising engine pointed at the whole market. The FTC says it took over $1 billion out of American households. When regulators got close, Amazon switched it off. One more allegation, and it's the tell. The FTC says executives used disappearing message apps while the investigation was running. Lena Khan, who brought the case, put the charge in one line. Amazon is exploiting monopoly power to enrich itself while raising prices and degrading service. Judge John Chun hears it in March 2027. Stages 2 and 3 in writing at one company. Now watch it happen to a search engine in an email chain with a man trying to stop it. Witness 2, Google. February 2019, somebody inside declares a code yellow. An internal emergency 7 weeks long, not because the results were bad, because search revenue was soft. The emergency was money. On the other side of it sat Ben Gomes. 20 years at Google, most of them on search, and now running it. In an email later filed as evidence in the Justice Department's antitrust trial, he wrote that his team was getting too involved with ads for the good of the product and company. Then there's the draft he wrote and never sent to get the annoyance off his chest. It lists how you juice the numbers if you wanted to. Read it slowly. You could increase queries quite easily in the short term, he writes, in user-negative ways. Turn off spell correction. Turn off ranking improvement. Place refinements all over the page. Sit with that. A search engine earns more when you search more, and you search more when the first search doesn't work. The incentive to be worse isn't hidden inside the business model. It is the business model. Gomes lost. In mid-2020, Prabhakar Raghavan, head of ads during that revenue emergency, took over search. The writer Ed Zitron read the same exhibits and argues a quality update was partly rolled back to keep queries up. Google disputes that, and it's his reading, not the document's words. So take that one as his. The next one isn't. August 5, 2024. Judge Amit Mehta, Federal Court, Washington. Google is a monopolist, and it has acted as one to keep its monopoly. A shop that hid the shelves. A search engine degraded on a deadline. Now the one where the decay didn't just get admitted, it got used in court. Witness 3, Facebook. January 11, 2018. Mark Zuckerberg announces the feed is going back to meaningful social interactions, less from publishers, more from friends and family. It sounded like a company choosing you over the money. 3 years later, Frances Hodgin walked out with the documents. One internal data science memo, word for word. Our approach has had unhealthy side effects on important slices of public content, such as politics and news. Translation. The new scoring paid out for anger. So publishers wrote angrier posts and political parties followed. Fixes existed. They cost engagement. They lost. By 2022, there's an internal document that reads like an obituary. Friending and friend sharing are losing steam. In April 2025, under oath, Zuckerberg says it plainly. The amount that people are sharing with friends on Facebook, especially, has been declining. On Instagram, more than half of user time now goes to Reels. And here's the turn. That testimony came at Meta's own antitrust trial. Be precise because it matters. That case was about buying Instagram and WhatsApp, not the quality of your feed. But the argument that won was the decay itself. Meta said it isn't really a friends network anymore. It's an entertainment app competing with TikTok and YouTube. On November 18, 2025, Judge James Boasberg agreed. Read that again. Meta beat a monopoly charge by proving the product you signed up for is gone. 3 companies, 3 courtrooms. Now the 2 that never needed one. Witness 4. Your ride and your telly. Hubert Horan has been pulling Uber's accounts apart for a decade. In the mid-2010s, roughly 40% of the true cost of your ride was paid by Uber's investors. That's what made taxis look expensive. By 2022, the losses topped $31 billion. That was the bait. Between January 2018 and July 2021, rideshare prices rose 92%. Netflix then. March 10, 2017, official account 5 words. Love is sharing a password. May 2023, they charged you for it. $7.99 a month per extra member. People were furious. And on the 26th and 27th of May, Americans signed up at nearly 100,000 a day. 5.9 million new subscribers that quarter. 13 million by December, their best since 2020. The punishment never came. They made the deal worse and got paid more for it. Why? Because leaving costs you, and they've priced it. Doctorow's line about Facebook is the whole machine. Its users engaged in a mutual hostage-taking that kept them glued to the platform. You and your 200 friends can't agree on when to go or where. Your photos are in there. Your watch history, 10 years of orders. So here's the rule this episode has been walking toward. A platform can make your life worse by exactly as much as it costs you to leave, and not 1 inch further. Everything under that ceiling is free money. Monopoly is the machine that raises the ceiling. When the taxis are gone and every friend is on the feed, there's a lot of room above your head. Doctorow has a word for the knob turning: twiddling. Prices, rankings, and payouts adjusted per person per moment invisibly. 4 things used to stop it: rivals, regulators, your right to modify what you own, engineers who'd quit before shipping it. Mergers took the first, capture the second, copyright the third, layoffs the fourth. Sometimes the last stage finishes the job. Musk paid $44 billion for Twitter in 2022. By autumn 2024, Fidelity had marked its stake down about 80%. That's the ending Doctorow promised. It just doesn't give you your 10 years back. Now the defense properly, because it's real. Amazon says the Bezos quote is grossly misleading and taken out of context, and that Nessie existed to stop price matching driving prices to unsustainable lows. None of it is proven. The trial hasn't happened. Google kept Chrome, and when the remedies landed, the stock went up. Meta won outright, and Netflix's audience voted with its wallet.
Here's my verdict, and it isn't the one their lawyers are worried about. Legally, I'm losing. Boasberg cleared Meta, Meta let Google keep Chrome, and Amazon hasn't been to trial yet. But the charge was never that this is illegal. The charge is that they made the product worse on purpose in stages, wrote it down, and that paper is now evidence in 3 federal cases. Guilty on the pattern, and that's what enshittification actually is. Not a mood, a method. And the number I promised you is 45. 45 cents of every dollar an independent seller earns there goes to Amazon. 19, a decade ago. That isn't a marketplace. It's a toll booth with a search engine bolted on, and you pay the toll at the till. If you think a company should answer for deliberately making its product worse, not just for breaking a law, that's what this channel does. Subscribe and tell me in the comments, which app would you leave tomorrow if leaving were free?
One last thing, because this isn't weather. In March 2024, the EU's Digital Markets Act came into force and did something small and boring. It made phones ask people which browser they actually wanted. Firefox's daily users jumped 99% in Germany, 111% in France. By May 2026, Mozilla counted 6 million users it wouldn't otherwise have. One screen. April 2025 brought the first fines under it. 500 million euros for Apple, 200 million for Meta. In November 2025, WhatsApp opened up to rival messaging apps in Europe, and Meta's remedy forces Google to share its search data with competitors. Doctorow has a word for this direction of travel: disenshittification. Lower the cost of leaving, and the ceiling comes down with it. Figures as of August 2026. Courts adjourned. Next on trial, the company that built a casino inside a children's football game. Then somebody bought the casino with a mortgage.